Okay. A bit about Gary Thornton. Give us a bit of a rundown about what makes Gary Thornton tick. Where have you been? What have you done? What do you do if you get any downtime?
That's a good question. I don't get a lot of downtime actually. I usually go watch a rugby match, so that's how boring I am. I've been involved in the game a long time. You know, I started playing. I was a soccer player first. I started playing reasonably late, but I signed at Wakefield in '87 and had 4 good years there under some good coaches. But I think I had my best time at Batley under David Ward. I owe that guy a lot because he was a terrific coach, and he certainly knew how to put a group of players together that'd die for him really. And we'd all run through a brick wall for Wardy, and if Barney and Cassie was sat here, they'd say the same. So I've kind of, he's instilled a lot of values in me that I look for now in players, that that sit together and there's a team spirit, that kind of stuff. But I finished playing in about '98, and then I started coaching. I went straight into coaching actually, and I've probably had a more successful coaching career than I did a playing career. I was never a great player. I would just work really, really hard. But I've enjoyed coaching, and I started coaching up at Drigg. In the amateur game, which I think everybody should do, and cut the teeth in the amateur game and find out what coaching is really all about, where you've got to wing it because you end up with 5 players turning up for training. It's tough. And then I got an opportunity at Batley when Paul Story, who I'd worked with before, invited me to be his assistant up at Batley, and it all went from there really. Paul always only had a plan to coach for 3 years, and he stuck by that plan. And when he retired from coaching in 2003, I took the reins, and I loved it at Batley. It was my club, I'd been there 9 years as a player, so to coach the club that I played for that long, and I knew everybody, was an honour, and I did it for 6 years, and there were 6 good years. I really enjoyed my time there. But towards the back end, when it's time to go, and sometimes there's one thing's inevitable as a coach: you're either going to get sacked or you're going to resign. And when it's time to go, and in 2009 it was time for me to go. The fans were getting on my back a little bit, and that's not nice when you've given sort of 20 years or close to 20 years service to a club. You don't want your fans to turn on you. So at that point in time I decided to go, and Kevin would never have sacked me. Kevin Nicholas was brilliant, and Paul Harrison, they would never have sacked me, but we sat down and I said, I think it's been my best interest to leave, and it was a sad day that it ripped my heart out really to leave Batley, but I knew I had to do it at some point in time. But I got an opportunity straight away to get back into coaching at Castleford, and had 3 years there coaching the under-21s, and I had Gary Barnett working with me there, and we had a great time there. It was brilliant, and to see young players developing and coming through and playing first team, to see them still playing now. We had Greg Eden in our side, we had Darryl Clark in our side, we had John Davis who was at Featherstone, we had Adam Milner who's made his first team, Ollie Holmes. We had a good side at Castleford, and it was great to see those young players, Joe Rundle who's now at Wakefield, actually advancing from 21s and making it into the first team, because a lot of them don't. I think 19s is far too early now. I think you need to go on to the 23 before you make a decision on them, and it was under 21s then. But to see those players advance and become established Super League players, I got a lot of pride out of that. It was great that we'd helped them on their way, and when you see them now when they're out, they always have a word with us, and it's great that. And then back into the Championship at York. You win the league and then get sacked. I'll say no more on that. You're coach of the year, win the league, but you still get sacked. So it's sports. It's funny sometimes. It plays funny tricks on you at times, and sometimes when you're successful, you don't get the success that you think you deserve. But John Guildford had his reasons for what he did. And I moved on to Donny, and now here, and I'm really enjoying myself. I have to say, the backroom staff here, yourself, Scott, Trevor, absolutely brilliant. I better mention Kim also, I'll get told off. Brilliant. They do anything for you. They're so supportive, it's unreal. And the supporters themselves, they're fantastic. That Toronto experience was brilliant for me as a coach, for the players, but for the supporters as well. I'll never forget that, walking out with that pitch at Toronto with that crowd, and you felt like it was a home game. It was brilliant. So I think out of all the clubs I've been to, this group of supporters are as passionate and as caring as I've seen, and that's why I really want to do well for them this year. I think they deserve it after last year. I think we deserve to play an attractive brand of football and win games and give them something to cheer for, because they are very, very loyal. you know, they went a bus full go down to London, and we were dreadful down in London. It was one of the worst performances I've been involved in, but you can guarantee the week after they're going to be supporting us, and that's all you can ask of them.